Welcome, Duck fans, to another edition of the Stevens Athletics Coach's Corner. My name is Ben Badua, and joining us here today is one of the newest additions to the Stevens Athletics family, head women's basketball coach, Bri Fecteau. Bri, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I guess to start us off, can you talk a little bit about what drew you to Stevens and what made you really decide this was the place for you?
My biggest attraction to Stevens was the student athletes and their self-motivation and just their commitment to academics, their commitment to athletics. I came from Harvard. I was an assistant there for 7 years, so being an assistant you have time to, especially for 7 years, time to really evaluate what your strengths and weaknesses are, where you want to go in that next step, and being in Harvard really allowed me to grow as a coach, and I knew Division III was what I wanted. I think they have a healthy balance of academics and athletics, and you really can influence the kids and help them, later in life and give them a lot of life lessons. And then interviewing at Stevens, meeting the student population, meeting the administrators, and just their commitment to excellence on and off the court, I knew that was a place I wanted to be. They're very similar to Harvard athletes where they are perfectionists and they want to do their best and give their best in every aspect of life. And I know that's the student athlete I want to be around. The administration's the same way. You have their full support. It's a very academic and athletically driven campus. So I think with the student athletes, with the support of administration, it's the perfect place for me. Couldn't be happier. So.
Now, as you mentioned, you were an assistant previously at Harvard University. This will be your first head coaching experience, but like you said, 7 years over with the Crimson. Can you talk a little bit more about your background in coaching and how that you think that prepares you for your job here with the Ducks?
7 years as an assistant, you learn every role of coaching. I started off as a second assistant, worked my way up to first assistant, so I've had a hand in every aspect of coaching, whether it's on the court stuff, in the office stuff. So I think that really prepared me to be able to handle anything thrown my way. I was very fortunate. My boss at Harvard, Kathy Delaney Smith, she's been there 29 years, very successful. She's kind of an icon in the Ivy League. Wonderful boss, wonderful person, wonderful role model. She really allowed me in 7 years to grow as a person, grow as a coach. I wasn't stuck in one area. I got to work with guards, forwards, do X's and O's, do the film breakdown. So having that experience has really, really prepared me to have my own program and be a head coach. And again, I think that's part of head coaching is developing a staff and developing them into the coaches they can be. And I was very, very fortunate to have Kathy on my side and have her, allow me, to grow as a person and as a coach. So I feel very ready after 7 years to be here, and I couldn't have picked a better place to be here. I'm very fortunate.
Now, you yourself were a former standout athlete over at Bentley. You even played professionally for a while in Europe. Can you talk a little bit about how your playing experience might help our student athletes here at Stevens?
Sure. Playing at Bentley, again, very fortunate again. Our head coach there, Barbara Stevens, very successful. She's the winningest coach in Division II. So that kind of grew my passion for coaching. I was injured 1 year, sat out my senior year due to an ACL injury, and I think that gives you a whole new perspective. You're no longer on the court seeing things, you're on the sideline, and my coach, Coach Stevens, allowed me to work with the guards and more take a coaching role. So I think that's where my passion began, and just seeing the effect she had on our lives and how we grew as people under her definitely will help me as a coach. My playing experience there, it's very competitive. You are out there to give your best. You're surrounded by 12 other people that want to win and have that competitive nature, and I think that's what the student athletes have here. And I'm very good at dealing with kids like that, student athletes like that, and having that competitive drive in myself. I think will just, I think that's contagious. I think everybody feeds off of that. So.
And Coach, just to wrap things up here, can you talk just a little bit about some of your short-term and long-term goals for the program?
Short-term goals right now, we just started practices. We're on our 9th practice, I think, today. Really just more getting to know the girls, getting them in shape, teaching them my philosophy, my terminology, and just creating a family environment. It's hard coming in. We've got 15 kids that I didn't recruit, but after meeting them, all 15 are kids that I absolutely would have recruited. I feel very fortunate inheriting a team that already they know how to work hard. They're very disciplined. They want to win. So short term is just bettering my relationship with them, getting them ready on the court condition-wise and basketball-wise. Long term, I mean, they got a taste of winning the Empire 8 2 years ago. We did team goals. That's where they want to be again this year. That's where I want them to be. So long-term goals for this year anyway is get back there, be in the top of the Empire 8, hopefully win it, and go from there. and continue on that success. I think long term, we'd like to be a contender each year in the Empire 8. We've got the support, we've got the talent, so ideally that's where we'd like to be.
Well, Coach, thank you for joining us. The best of luck this season. We certainly hope you'll join us here again. Fans, for all the latest on your favorite Stevens Ducks teams, please visit www.stevensducks.com. We'll see you next time.